Timberwolves dropped the season opener 97-94, losing to the Raptors in Toronto, which is now 19 straight games that the Wolves have lost in Toronto. It's almost been 20 years since their last win. I felt okay about it going in until I heard that Jaden McDaniels was going to be out for this game. A calf strain already. Calf's coming back to bite this season just like they did last season already in game one. Hopefully that doesn't continue. Need Jaden on the court, especially going up against a Raptors team that has so many large wings. Kind of felt like I was still watching Jaden out there as Scotty Barnes had multiple absurd blocks with length that you just can't comprehend. Anthony Edwards would have an extremely strong start, scoring our first 10 points of the game, and he was the only person who could hit threes for the Wolves all game. They'd shoot 25% as a team. Karl Anthony Towns 2 of 10 from threes. Ant was 4 of 7. No one else was really making them. Nickeil Alexander-Walker got the start instead of Jaden, and I don't know if he was informed that he wasn't playing for the Canadian team in this game. He was rough, like just giving the Raptors fouls unnecessarily. That happened 3 times in the first half alone. He couldn't make shots. He just looked out of it kind of all game, and that was disappointing. He had a great preseason, was getting the starts in preseason, and I was kind of hoping that Anderson would have got it over him in this game since we needed a bit more size to guard the likes of Siakam, Barnes, and OG, who also had a good game. Last guard that got a lot of minutes was Shake Milton, and he looked pretty awkward in this one too. Wasn't very aggressive offensively, was passing up some shots that I feel like he normally takes. Also picked up some silly fouls, so the guard play was pretty rough. The bigs were pretty on and off. I thought Gobert actually did a lot of really positive things in this game. 4 blocks, getting a lot of rebounds, 5 offensively. But he remains just this turnover tornado. A couple times in that game, he treated the ball like a grenade. The second he gets it, he just throws it ahead, tries to get it to someone who can handle it, and instantly a turnover to the other team. And then he also had the audacity to think he could pull off a 1v2 transition off the dribble move, which got swiped away by Scotty Barnes. He's bizarre in that fact, where a lot of times he's like, get this ball away from me, and then he just has this brazen confidence out of nowhere too. And it's not just him turning it over, which I've covered. It's a lot of times us trying to force feed the ball into him inside, and he doesn't have the best hands and doesn't have good ball security, so that leads to a lot of turnovers, which is extremely problematic, leading to fast breaks, especially as the Raptors would really punish us in transition. 34 points in transition out of 97 points. I don't know if I've ever seen a ratio like that. It felt like they were getting so many transition buckets, but that is hard to comprehend. Timberwolves only had 14, scratch that 12 actually, and you can tell it's because their bigs just do not move once we secure the basketball and go the other way. They don't really run the floor and are practically always the last ones up the court. And from that game, it does not look like they've improved much from kind of where they left off offensively last year. Karl Anthony Towns still with very poor decision making, 4 turnovers tonight, some really ill-advised passes. Although I was pretty proud of his interior defense as well, 4 blocks out of Cat tonight. But overall, this team was really disjointed. It's night 1 in an environment that they haven't won in for 2 decades, so I'm not gonna overreact too much about this one, but that was not a good look for the Timberwolves. Only lost by 3. Let's see what they do. Next game is on Coda Day, 7 p.m. And it's the home opener against the Miami Heat. Hopefully that one's better. Hopefully Jaden's back. Why was he said, I want him to play. As much as it hurts to say this being beat by the Canadian team, peace out.